We know the cost of everything is going up, but one of Angie's bills has jumped by more than 2,000%. And it's not a mistake. He's paying for someone else's bad decisions.
It feels like we're here working year after year just to generate money for the state government.
You don't know Angie Romas, but you've seen his work. It lights up the MCG.
We're talking about the columns for the Southern Cross Station. We're talking about the big girders for the bridges on the Eastlink Freeway.
While we walk past it every day, Angie's wondering how many days he's got left.
This tax is going to increase in the next year. Every February, it'll go up by $50,000.
It's called land tax, and the Victorian government aim to make a pretty penny out of it to help curb the state's soaring debt. Angie's on 4 acres. 10 years ago, his land tax bill was $8,700. This year, it's a whopping $203,600. That's a 2,240% increase. What small business can possibly absorb that?
And the government is just taking money for nothing. We don't get anything for it.
You can't tax your way out of this debt situation. We need to incentivise business to grow.
Since 1973, Corrosion and Coatings has been doing business in Dandenong South in Melbourne's southeast. But now, Angie says,
No, we're being punished for just being here.
Angie's been successfully operating here for 24 years. But now, thanks to the Allen government's land tax, the stress of running it will outweigh the profits, and he'll be forced to close in less than 2 years.
A few options, either moving out to a smaller footprint where the land tax isn't as high, but then the business changes, or shut up shop and say goodbye to this industry.
That means 14 Victorians would lose their jobs. And if Angie shuts up, who sandblasts the steel and paints it for the state government's big build?
There's others here that might be able to take some of that capacity, but you go into state first, and then the product will come in finished, sandblasted and painted from Asia or the Middle East. So it's just dollars going out of Australia.
No one wants that.
Governments do.
We need a really clear direction out of the state government as to how the debt is going to be treated, and it cannot be treated by increasing tax on business.
Victorian Chamber of Commerce and Industry CEO Paul Guerra.
We need to see a signal back from the government that reduces that land tax to set the state back for growth.
We don't mind paying a nominal land tax. Everybody does. But it's become out of bounds now. Increasing by 23 times in 10 years. It's crazy.
And the hikes to land tax aren't just affecting Victorian small businesses. Landlords have been priced out too.
My land tax was more than double.
Father of 4 Eric Chen works as an accountant, but even he can't crunch the numbers and keep them viable.
This is my first investment property. It will be probably my last. It's as if you're trying to do things good for the society, to provide a rental housing, to support the rental house market, and yet we're not treated equally.
Eric's paying $1,765 in land tax.
The government is not doing enough to have a fair playing field for both the landlord and the tenants.
Why are we being penalised for being a service to the state?
Businesses are already forking out GST, payroll tax, company tax and land tax. But when we put these concerns to the Victorian Premier today, Jacinta Allen seemed more consumed in arguing over semantics.
You've just referenced a collection of revenue measures, not all of which are state-based. And if you're wanting to have a discussion about revenue that is collected by different levels of government and how it's allocated, that's a different discussion.
But it doesn't affect the state government. They don't care about us.
It's small business owners left to grapple with their futures. Whether it's COVID lockdowns, crime, cancelled Com Games, hardworking Victorians are at their limit.
Well, I've been dragged in to try to clear up a debt for them. I'm one of many. We're contributing more than what's fair.
Yeah, and you know what? It's hard to find anyone other than perhaps some politicians who would disagree with what Angie just said.